Hello, my name is Cheryl Kraus. I'm from the California University of Pennsylvania, Department of Exercise Science and Sports Studies, Doctor of Health Science and Exercise Leadership candidate. This is Leadership Artifact 3, Mindfulness and Spiritual Well-Being. Event details. Mindfulness and spiritual well-being enthusiasts are invited on July the 2nd, 2022. The video will be launched on YouTube at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the cost is free to join. Our team consists of myself as the presenter for the class. Kiera Fury helped source the beautiful illustrations and quotes found throughout. Rhiannon Fury was content support specialist, and I brought in Jamie O'Malley for marketing expertise in helping to expand the message of mindfulness and spirituality to the masses. I lead using a laissez-faire approach to support my team, meeting early on to discuss duties, then simply adding support as needed to ensure that I do not stifle their creativity while they get the job done. The overview of the class is threefold. We will talk about the history of Thich Nhat Hanh, the global spiritual leader, advocate, and poet, pioneer for mindfulness, global ethics, and peace. We will discuss the 14 mindfulness trainings, the order of interbeing, how it cultivates concentration and insight, and it lights, carries, and guides us. We will also speak on the embracing mindfulness and spiritual well-being aspect, engagement with self and others, becoming aware of spiritual energy, and interacting with the environment. Ordained as a monk at 16 years old in Vietnam, Thich Nhat Hanh envisioned a Buddhism practice that could respond directly to the needs of society. He supported peace during the Vietnam War and traveled to the US and Europe to support ending the hostilities in Vietnam. It was during a 1966 trip when he first met Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who later nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1967. Sadly, as a direct result of his peace mission, both North and South Vietnam denied him the right to return to Vietnam, and he began a long exile of 39 years. Thich Nhat Hanh continued to travel widely, spreading the message of peace and brotherhood, lobbying Western leaders to end the Vietnam War, and leading the Buddhist delegation to the Paris peace talks in 1969. This renowned global spiritual leader, poet, peace advocate, became a pioneer for mindfulness, global ethics, and peace throughout his lifetime and published more than 100 books. Thich Nhat Hanh established a mindfulness practice center in southern France near Bordeaux in 1982 and named it Plum Village. Today it is the largest Buddhist monastery in all of Europe, with over 200 resident monks and nuns who reside there in support of his mission for mindfulness and a peaceful existence. Mindfulness encourages one to slow down, breathe, and take life in from moment to moment, absorbing all of the wonders it has to offer. This is a wonderful quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. I have arrived. I am home. I don't want to run anymore. I've been running all my life, and I've arrived nowhere. Now I want to stop. My destination is the here and now, the only time and place where true life is possible. The 14 mindfulness trainings are the very essence of the order of interbeing, lighting the path of mindfulness that guides our existence. The premise is to touch the nature of interbeing in everything that is, and to see that our happiness is not separate from the happiness of others. Interbeing is not a theory. It is a reality that can be directly experienced by each of us at any moment, and the 14 mindfulness trainings help cultivate concentration and insight to free us from fear and the illusion of a separate self. Openness is the awareness of suffering in the world, and through the use of mindfulness as a guide, we can open our hearts and practice interbeing to develop a deep understanding, compassion, and empathy toward others. The energy of the collective practicing mindfulness can help transmute dogmatism, violence, and suffering in the world. Non-attachment to views is the awareness of the suffering created by attachment to views and wrong perceptions. Mindfulness practice helps to diminish narrow-mindedness and the attachment to present views through compassionate listening, and the awareness that the knowledge we presently possess is not changeless or an absolute truth. Truth is found in life, and mindfulness appreciates a continuous learning mindset that grows and changes through everyday circumstances. Freedom of thought is the awareness of suffering brought about when our views are imposed on others. Mindfulness practice does not force others by any means whatsoever, such as authority, threat, money, or propaganda, to adopt our views. Instead, mindfulness respects the right of others to be different, to choose what they believe, and encourages others to let go of and transform narrowness through loving speech and compassionate conversations. Awareness of suffering looks deeply at the nature of suffering to help cultivate understanding and compassion, determined to recognize, accept, embrace, and listen to our own suffering through the compassionate lens of mindfulness. Conscious breathing and focused intention helps us observe the roots of our suffering to better understand the suffering of others, and so help to transform infliction into greater compassion, peace, and joy. Compassionate, healthy living is the awareness that happiness is rooted in peace, solidarity, freedom, and compassion. Mindfulness guides one to evaluate the ways we nourish our body, sense impressions, desire, and consciousness. Mindfulness supports refraining from alcohol, drugs, or any other products that support addiction or unhealthy behaviors. Instead, mindfulness practice supports consumption that preserves compassion, peace, joy, and well-being in our bodies, to provide a consciousness with the collective and honoring the earth's resources. Taking care of anger is the awareness that anger blocks communication and creates suffering. Mindfulness practice is committed to identifying the energy of anger when it arises and helping to transform the seeds of anger that lie deep in our consciousness. When anger manifests, we are determined not to do or say anything, but to practice mindful breathing or mindful walking to acknowledge the emotions connected. By observing instead of engaging in anger, mindfulness enhances the capacity of understanding, love, joy, and inclusiveness to gradually transform individual anger, violence, and fear while supporting others to do the same. Dwelling happily in the present moment is the awareness that life exists only in the present moment, and it is important to training ourselves to live deeply each moment of daily life through mindful breathing to truly connect with the here and now. To learn the art of mindful living begins by touching the healing elements that are inside and all around us in all situations, cultivating the seeds of joy, peace, love, and understanding to support healing. True community and communication is the awareness that a lack of communication brings separation and suffering. Mindfulness encourages the practice of compassionate listening and loving speech to intently listen without judgment or reaction. Using this mindset helps support communication and teaches how not to behave as a victim, but rather to engage in ways to reconcile and resolve conflicts harmoniously. Truth and loving speech is the awareness that words can create happiness or suffering, and we should be committed to speaking in truthfully, lovingly, and constructive ways. We should use words that inspire joy, confidence, and hope to support peace within ourselves, among those around us, and to actively speak out regarding injustice. Protecting and nourishing the Sangha. The awareness that the essence of Sangha is to practice understanding and compassion as members of this spiritual community, to take a clear stance against oppression and injustice. This mindful community enhances love, understanding, and cutting through afflictions to realize self and collective awakening. Right livelihood, the awareness that great violence and injustice has been done to our environment and society, and that we will do our best to select a livelihood that contributes to the well-being of all species on Earth through support and compassionate awareness. We behave responsibly as consumers and citizens and try to engage with companies that do the least harm to our earthly resources. Reverence for life, the awareness that much suffering is caused by war and conflict, and to seek to determine intent and cultivate nonviolence, compassion, peace, education, and a mindful existence. Through diligently practicing nonviolence, we strive to discover better ways to protect life, prevent war, and enhance world peace. Generosity, the awareness of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression. One commits to cultivating generosity through thoughts, speech, and action to support the well-being of people, animals, and the environment through the sharing of our time, resources, and energy with those in need. Right conduct, the awareness that the body and mind are one, a commitment to learning appropriate ways to take care of our carnal energy and to cultivate loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusivity for our own happiness and the happiness of others. We know that to preserve the happiness of ourselves and others, we must respect the rights and commitment of ourselves through compassion and respect. Skill building and application of mindfulness and spirituality practice. Mindful breathing. Whenever we experience stress, deep emotions, or scattered thoughts, we can easily return to our breathing to collect and anchor the mind. Through slow, conscious breathing, we can easily calm the body and the mind to promote peace and relaxation, bringing the energy of mindfulness into each moment of life. Mindful movement. This is the opportunity for us to unite our mind and body through our favorite form of activity. That could be walking, yoga, tai chi, qigong, etc. Throughout the activity, it is important to stay aware of our conscious breathing and to actively connect with the movement and the mind and the breath to balance our flexibility within both our mind and our body. Sitting meditation is very healing to the nervous system and allows one to just be with whatever feelings are within us at the moment. Pain, anger, irritation, even joy, love, and peace, accepting it all without prejudice. Simply breathing, letting the feelings and emotions come, letting them stay briefly, and then letting them go. No need to push, to suppress, or to pretend our thoughts are not there. Observing the thoughts and images of our mind with an accepting and loving eye allows ourselves to be still and calm despite any storms that might arise within or around us. Eating meditation. Eating together can be a meditative practice through the realization that many elements such as the rain, sun, earth, air, and love have all come together to cultivate our meal. Supporting our existence within the universe, we can keep our compassion alive by eating in such a way that reduces the suffering of living beings, stops contributing to climate change, and heals and preserves our precious planet. Working meditation. To participate in working meditation can bring great happiness. It is an opportunity to engage in the maintenance and care of our daily work while enjoying the practice of mindfulness. Staying mindful of breathing throughout daily activities helps to maintain a light and easy feeling while at work, making the environment more pleasant, enjoyable, and calming to the mind and the body. Connecting to the earth. The practice of touching the earth is to return to our roots, our ancestors, and to recognize that we are not alone, but rather connected to a whole stream of spiritual and blood ancestors. We touch the earth to let go of the idea that we are separate and to remind us that we are the earth and part of life. When we touch the earth, we breathe in all the strength and stability of the earth while breathing out our suffering through feelings of anger, hatred, fear, inadequacy, and grief. When we practice mindfulness, it generates a powerful collective energy that can help bring healing and transformation for ourselves, others, and the environment, which helps enhance spiritual consciousness throughout. Thich Nhat Hanh passed away peacefully at the age of 95 in the early hours of January 22nd, 2022. He had worked tirelessly to raise awareness regarding mindfulness and Buddhist insights that can be applied to every aspect of daily life, society, education, business, technology, and the environmental crisis. Thich Nhat Hanh's living legacy of engaged Buddhist living is continued through his community of over 700 disciples at 11 monasteries and hundreds of thousands of mindfulness supporters worldwide. Mindfulness and spirituality are interwoven into the very fabric of my portfolio objectives and shines throughout my mission, vision, values, guiding principles, and research foci. Applying the 14 mindfulness trainings to daily life can help nourish your consciousness, connection with others, and enhance spiritual well-being. Mindful effort brings forth a deeper connection to self, family, friends, the greater community, and the environment to manifest a lifetime commitment to health, well-being, and an enhanced connection to spiritual energy. I adopted a mindful existence many years ago and found it has helped me become more conscious of the environment, build deeper connections with others, overcome adverse circumstances, and connect to spirituality in a way I was never able to through religious practices. If you are looking to enhance your life and the life of others through more conscious, mindful living, mindfulness can lead you in the right direction. Applying mindful awareness to the people, places, and things found where we live, work, and play helps us navigate the world through a conscious lens. Compassionate awareness and mindful acceptance allows us to appreciate others, ourselves, and the environment with much gratitude and a loving heart. Thank you very much for your time and attention. These are the resources used for this class.